All right, we're back. Another season. Pro football show. Chevy Silverado. Chicago. Couldn't be more excited to be back.
Yeah, Will, how are you feeling?
Boys, girl, this season is going to be awesome. But who is this jabroni?
That's the mystery guest. Different host every single week.
I love that idea. Let's go!
I can't not laugh when I look over there.
I know. And especially because it's the first time he's back since his hole-in-one legend, and he's just in a sling.
Yeah, what a start to 2024 you had.
Yeah, he's going the wrong direction now.
The bet.
Going the wrong
He's
direction.
on a heater.
now.
He's on a heater.
The hole-in-one was so big that
You never had a bad week, Dan?
He's going the wrong direction.
You never had a bad week?
Save it.
Never.
We're about to start.
No,
Save
Taylor
it.
Swift?
Start
Good
it.
week.
That was actually a
got
great
you.
week.
Save it.
That was a great
Yes,
week.
I can hear you.
Horrible week. That was
We got to
great
start.
week.
The boys are...
Kidding me?
Okay, ready?
Horrible. Guy hates women.
Welcome to the Pro Football Show presented by the Chevy Silverado Wild Card Weekend here. We've got Kyle Long. The vibes are immaculate. Kyle walked in with his own walk-in song. We've got... Good morning. Got Jersey Jerry back. And I know right before we started this, we had to calm ourselves because Jerry and Dan are already going at it before the show even starts.
It's just being crazy. He had a great week, and then what happens? I've told him a million times, it's about the next play. These guys know it. You can't sit here and just be like, oh, we won a game. I'm good.
Success.
Yeah, right. And then next thing you know, you're saying we want to shut down the stream, the chat, your elbows in a sling.
Yeah, I mean, I'm playing through pain, playing
Yeah.
through the pain. I mean, listen, people have bad weeks. It is what it is.
Okay.
Had a bad week. 52 weeks of the year, I had one bad week.
Okay.
Well, when we recorded this show last week, you were still in the middle of your hole-in-one stream, which was
Yes.
obviously a legendary.
Yeah, I mean, biggest thing Barcel's ever done. Okay. Second biggest live stream. First, Coach Doug's. Second biggest.
Coach Doug.
How high did Coach Doug's get on?
There was 120,000 people watching me lose the national championship.
Jeez.
120.
Yeah, it got a little crazy.
Bigger than any college
I was
team.
right there.
I thought it was one.
No, a 90-something.
Shark.
People don't know the competition that goes on behind the scenes. When you're seeing that, how high did it get? 103, 10?
It was 100.
No, I think it was 90-something.
No, I think you got 100.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
You got
Oh yeah, you hit 100.
Yeah, you definitely hit 100.
Jeez.
Did you ever think I gotta get the?
Oh, dude, I wanted to get it so bad.
It was impressive to see how long you went.
Yeah.
Even
I
with
could've
little
went another-
breaks, like
another
intermissions,
48.
it was impressive. But
I was locked in.
but this right now, what I'm looking at is not
After the
impressive.
sleep, I was rejuvenated, big time.
And now,
And who told you to sleep?
Dan.
Some guy named Daniel.
Yeah. Okay.
Cairo, big move.
Exactly.
He pulled
Cairo.
like Dad Cat came out. He was like, you need to go to sleep.
That's AAU baseball dad.
Guy was hitting it in the water every time. He's like, I'm so close. You gotta fucking sleep, dude.
Such a dad move. But now, of course, Jerry is back in the sling. Kyle, you said it's like you look over there and laugh at him. So
I can't stop.
we'll see what happens.
Why?
Because it's just a funny visual.
Like the guy
Sad.
with the mole on his head. or something.
Sad.
It's a funny visual. Of course, we're going to break down all the games.
Got a sprained AC joint.
He's playing through pain right now, okay? He's playing. He is. What did you say? It's like it's injured badly. Like you're actually very injured.
I'm in pain.
It's a grade
in pain.
.5, I
Yeah.
heard.
Yeah.
Kyle, I'm sure you've had an AC joint.
Kyle got back in the game. Torn rotator.
Throw some lidocaine in
Also,
it, put the
Kyle is
pad on
a
it.
big man.
Just put a dip in and roll. Let's go.
We'll talk about all the games, but first, obviously, a gigantic week in coaching news. We have Pete Carroll, Bill Belichick, and Mike Vrabel, Dan, all out. It seems like it's just happening. I mean, of course, Nick Saban, too, in the college, but this week for coaching changes in the NFL has been insane.
It's nuts. You're gonna see it's one of those moments you're like, man, I'm getting old. Because these guys aren't going to be. I think Bill Belichick will probably find another place, but Pete Carroll, I don't know. He's 72.
He's not getting old. Did you
You
hear
saw
what
it.
he said?
What'd he say?
So I'm not getting old.
Oh,
I'm up here fired up. It's week 19. I'm supposed to be tired. I'm not.
Okay, so he'll maybe get another
But
job.
his emotion,
Yeah.
he was on that presser talking about his wife and stuff. You can just tell,
Yeah, he was emotional.
he's going
That guy loves me.
Yeah. But it is crazy. A lot of coach openings, a lot of legends moving around.
a lot of coaches staying.
Yeah, there are some coaches staying. Continuity is important in this league.
Hottest free agency for head coaches out there, maybe ever.
Yeah, but I mean continuity.
Yeah, correct.
Right.
They know how to lead the
You
ship.
got to keep the
when it- when
continuity
it's-
going.
The waves are
When
really
you have
crashing
when
against
you
the boat.
when you go
The seas are
yeah, like
stormy. Is that what he said?
when you have a successful 7-10 season, you got to keep it going.
Gotta keep it. Gotta keep the boys
You
together.
want to talk about this? We haven't talked about this yet.
Consistency is-
Luce is back. The OC situation's in flux in Chicago.
Yeah.
Okay.
Belichick
That
out there,
answers my question.
Vrabel.
Whatever. But yeah,
Harbaugh.
Bill Belichick, best coach of all time, and Mike Vrabel might follow him now in New England, right?
If, let's just hypothetically say, if Eberflus was gone, how would you rank who you'd want in Chicago?
Jim Harbaugh, Mike Vrabel, then maybe Belichick.
Yeah.
And that's just purely age.
Yeah.
You know.
Ben Johnson.
No, I think
Yeah,
I'd go
Ben
the same
Johnson.
way.
Yeah. Yeah, that's an age thing. But yeah, it'll be interesting where these guys end up. I heard Falcons maybe for Belichick.
Oh,
I saw
Falcons
that
with
too.
Belichick, and you know what that would mean.
I already tweeted it out.
Yes,
They're
you
gonna
did.
he's gonna trade for Justin Fields. They're gonna win a Super Bowl.
By the way, great tweet on the old couple.
Yeah,
dying with the-
it is.
It
It really is. You see it all the time. Like
where
they'd
the
be
red fern grows.
A World War II vet, dies at like 92, and they're like, oh, his wife died 2 hours later out of heartbreak. That's Saban and Belichick. They're just linked up forever.
His bingo buddy dies like 3 days later.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
But it's crazy.
Coaches are.
It is crazy. And Will, your reaction to Mike Vrabel, obviously we saw you and Taylor react. Did that actually surprise you to see Vrabel gone?
Yeah, it did. I think there are some Diana Rossini, she wrote an article that's probably as close as you'll get to the truth, but I think there's just a political game at the top, a power struggle, Game of Thrones, for who's going to control the roster, who's going to make decisions. Here's the direction we should go. I think there's disagreement. But yeah, I was surprised because clearly it's not performance. I know they've had down, the last 2 years have been down, but there's been so much turnover with the roster and the front office.
Are you a
and everything.
player in that locker room? Are you excited about change, or are you saying
Can't be.
Some.
same thing again?
I think some. I love Vrabel.
I always like new. I love Vrabel, but I always like new.
Yeah. Year one, Tennessee Titans Will Compton would be excited about the change. Year two, Tennessee Titans Will Compton would be sad about the change.
Yeah.
So
And
there's guys in there.
It's crazy to think how good of a coach Mike Vrabel is because, yeah, he hasn't won a Super Bowl, but the sustained success he had in Tennessee without a franchise quarterback it's hard to do.
know.
You're coaching with one hand tied behind your back.
And the year where he got Coach of the Year, it's that was where they had 90-something. We had 90-something injuries on the roster, which
Right.
was like an NFL record. I am surprised that
Yeah.
they fired him.
Somebody's gonna get lucky with him, and
Patriots.
somebody's
Yeah.
gonna be very happy with him.
The Patriots.
Is that the deal
I
right
think
now?
so.
Somebody's got to bust out the checkbook, though. If I'm not the Patriots, if I'm looking for a leader of men, and I'm not saying the decision's not already made in Las Vegas, but if it's Las Vegas, if it's Los Angeles
Carolina,
Chargers,
yeah.
Carolina, Chicago, if you're looking for a guy to take hold and grab this thing by the balls, I think Mike Vrabel is the guy that you can hire and get that done. But to your point, Patriots need that too.
Yeah, I mean, Kyle, if you're New England, you obviously are now following up, one of the best sports dynasties ever. Obviously, since Tom is gone, it's been different. But if you're New England, you want a splash hire like Mike Vrabel, right?
You got to go with a splash hire. You got to get somebody who is, I don't know, I would imagine that you have to have somebody that's okay turning over the keys on some decisions, right? Because Bill, we've seen where that's ended up. And Vrabes had the same situation that got him in trouble in Tennessee with autonomy. So maybe they will take the keys from him in that regard and say, coach your ass off. The guys love you. But let somebody else make those decisions.
Yeah, and I don't think he's opposed. I don't think he was ever opposed to that. I think it was just people coming in with the rain hire last year, and yeah, there's
New faces
some
making
politics
decisions.
going on.
Yeah.
There always is. Yeah.
Always is politics. We'll see how those dominoes fall. But we do have to talk about the records before we get to Wild Card Weekend. Dan, you and Will had a phenomenal season. I know.
Glad you threw me in there. I appreciate
Well,
it.
you did.
You had a great year.
You
If
had a
it
great
weren't for
year.
me, people would be talking about your season.
142, 116, and 13 is a great season. Unfortunately for you, Dan was just better.
Yeah, I was 57.3%. If you bet $1 million on each one of my picks, you would be up $27 million this year. Pretty nice chunk of change.
That is a great chunk of change.
Yeah.
Did anybody? Do you think anybody followed you there?
No, they probably faded me. Now they're broke, which is great. So it's nice to, next year I'll probably go back to sucking at gambling, but it's nice to have 1 year where I can be like 57% in the NFL. That's pretty damn good.
I think the audience who listened to this show probably tailed you more than anything.
Well, they started to see how hot I was.
you-
I was seeing it.
yeah, I mean, you
do
know
my
some ball.
research. Yeah.
And you did start telling people early on in the season, you were like, you guys make fun of me, but I have to pick every single game.
Yeah.
Look at my record. And
Right.
Kyle, you've been here. It was this fourth time.
fourth
time, yeah.
Your record's pretty damn good
23
too.
and
23, 16, and 3.
Yeah, winning all around, which is good. I'm happy people maybe take a little something from this show and go win some money.
The little.
Yeah.
So for the playoffs, that's what they should do is tail you, right?
Yes.
Playoffs are difficult.
Okay.
Yes.
Let me just say that right now. Playoffs are very,
That is
very
pretty
hard.
damn good.
think
I
so?
know.
16 and-
Giving you your flowers
I didn't even
too.
know it was in there. So thank you for pointing that out.
Of course.
Playoffs
Always got your
are
back.
so hard to win in because there's so much information. These lines are so tight. They're so perfect. Like, we'll get into all these lines, but you can't find the edge that you can find maybe in the regular season.
And you can't quantify which guy is going to step up and have a huge weekend.
Yeah.
Well,
Like,
let's
there's
just,
always somebody that steps up and it's like, where the fuck was that guy all
Yeah.
year?
Yeah.
let's just
He's a game reader.
Big time game
Yeah,
player, yeah.
big time game player.
Okay.
let's jump right into it then.
Yeah.
Storyline games of the week presented by the Chevy Silverado. We're just going to go in order of when these games are kicking off. So we'll start with Saturday. The first game of Wild Card Weekend is the Browns and the Texans. I will start with you. The Browns favored by 2.5 right now. The Texans obviously been very hot this year. CJ Stroud, where do you lean on this one?
Beware of an old man in a profession where
Oh, you almost nailed it.
you almost had it.
Damn it, Will. You were there.
Start it again. Start it again.
Okay.
I'll just
Well,
go
what do you
from the
think?
top. Because we got to we got to keep
yeah,
going.
Okay, all right. First game of Wild Card
So
Weekend.
close. It was so
Browns
close.
and the Texans. The Browns are favored by 2.5. The Texans are up to a hot start this year. See, now I'm fucking this up. CJ Stroud, where do you lean in this game?
Beware of an old man.
Beware of an old man in a profession where men usually die young.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
Joe
Have to do that
Flacco, the
again.
wily vet. And listen, before they sat their players this last week, they're on a 4-game win streak. They're averaging like 30 points a game. I know the defense is kind of taking a step back in the back half of the year, but it's still the number 1 defense in the league, number 1 pass defense. Yes, who was it? Mills was the quarterback the first time they played. CJ Stroud is definitely a step up, and he's a superstar in the making. But I think without Tank Dell, like I know Nico, he's a stud, but without Tank Dell, I think the Browns handle this game, and I like Joe Flacco. There's a crazy part of me, I want Joe Flacco to go to Baltimore and take it from him. There's just something about Joe Flacco.
Yeah, there is something about Joe Flacco.
That's storybook.
Storybook.
He throws that ball.
He throws that ball. There's something about Joe Flacco.
Dan, what do you think?
All right, so one stat that I'll use in this game and stupidly probably go against myself later on when we talk about the other games, but quarterbacks in the playoffs who are starting for the first time against quarterbacks who have had playoff starts, 13, 35, and 1 against the spread. So there's 4 cases of that this weekend. You have C.J. Stroud going to Joe Flacco. You have Mason Rudolph and Josh Allen. You have Tua and Patrick Mahomes and Jordan Love and Dak Prescott. The game, though, for me here is like you can't blindly bet these trends and stats. The game here for me is the Texans' defense is not great. And I think that the what you saw in the first game when they were just, what did Amari Cooper have, like 250 yards?
He went 15 targets, 11 receptions, 265, and 2 tutties.
Yeah, so they might say, all right, we're going to try to stop Amari Cooper. All right, David Njoku's going to go off. I don't think the Texans can stop the Browns' offense in this game. The Texans have had a great season, incredible, the fact that they won the AFC South. Their last 6 wins, though, Indianapolis, Tennessee, twice, I believe, Denver, Arizona, and Cincy. What do those 5 teams have in common? All 5 of them are in the back third defensively in the NFL. Now you go against the Browns. Now it's totally different. I think the Browns win this game. We'll see some flashes from C.J. Stroud, but I think this is just a step up that is a little too much for C.J. Stroud going against the Browns defense and the Browns offense going against this Texans defense.
Kyle?
I think historically, if you look at C.J. Stroud this year, I mean, we don't have a big body of work to judge him on, but the dude can play, and the dude is in the top, I'd say, 8th of the NFL in quarterbacks. But you look at him against these teams that are built to just bully people on defense. New Orleans, Baltimore, you got a sub 85 rating in those 2 games this year. And I look at this Browns unit, to your point, as the same kind of makeup, the mental makeup, the physical makeup. They're going to challenge guys on the outside. They've got, what are their guys' names? Emerson and the other corner for Cleveland.
No, for Cleveland.
For Cleveland,
Yeah.
it's Emerson and the other corner out there. They're going to be locked down sitting. If you can get Amari Cooper involved, obviously last game he had those stats, 250, 265 against the Texans in Houston.
Yeah.
This game's in Houston again. So they've done this. Like, it's not like you have to be in the night before in the hotel, close your eyes and try to imagine what it would like to beat this team.
Yeah.
Like, this team has been there and done that. So
Yeah,
you get an opportunity to go on the road and do that. I think, to your point, Joe Flacco is going to go out there and outplay C.J. Stroud. I think it's going to be too much, that defense for Cleveland, to compete with.
And Jim Schwartz is going to do some shit. Jim Schwartz is gonna show C.J. Stroud some stuff that he's never seen.
Right.
If you're a Texans fan, the matchup to watch for is your defensive ends against the Cleveland offensive tackles.
True.
They're banged up at tackle, and you've got Grenard, who's got 12 sacks, I think, and the other guy is Will Anderson, obviously.
yeah.
The matchups bode well for you. So if you're a Texans fan, don't get in my mentions and say, fuck you, you didn't say anything nice.
No, they've been incredible all year. I mean, it wouldn't shock me. It's a 2.5-point spread.
Flock to the mentions.
Yeah.
the matchup.
We might be. Are we getting too confident with this game? This one feels like.
A little bit, maybe. A little bit.
No.
I think this is a.
Yeah. A little
Kyle's
bit.
just absolutely not.
It's an Njoku spot.
I just think the combo,
good spot for
it's
Joe.
nothing against the Texans. The rookie QB, rookie head coach in the playoffs, it hasn't historically gone great. So I just think that, there's going to be situations where you got a guy in Joe Flacco that's been there, done that. And Myles Garrett, he's going to step up in this game. He's going to be a game wrecker. So, yeah.
Both the tight ends are going to have big
sacks
games.
since Thanksgiving.
Oh, wow.
So he's got to step up this game.
Miles?
Yeah, I think he had 1 sack since Thanksgiving this year.
Okay, you're on that.
He's got to be on it.
I like the Jerry stat. I mean, and like you guys have said, this takes away nothing from Houston's incredible season. It's
Right.
just like playing in the playoffs is a completely different monster. And so, great season for them. But if they do lose this, it's not like anybody's blaming them necessarily.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, they weren't even talked about.
Right.
You got to stop Dalton Schultz. You got to stop your guy
Nico Collins, yeah.
That's a wrap.
Listen, the way we talked about this with the graphic and everything, if the Texans win, we'll probably be on like some Texans social media post, which would be great.
Yeah.
But you guys complimented them too.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah, it was a
They're a
great
very
year.
good team.
Let's go to the Dolphins and the Chiefs.
boy.
Kyle, I will start with you. The Chiefs right now, minus 4.5. I know, oh boy, before I even
Be the
finished
coldest
it,
game
so.
in the NFL season, right?
Yes.
Yep.
0 degrees or something like that. I think starting off with, it starts with Steve Spagnuolo's defense. And it starts with the mindset that he instills with these guys. And I know that Tua and this offense have success when the ball's out quick and the defense can't react fast enough. And how do you try to shore that up? You get your big long-arm DBs on the line of scrimmage and you try to jam these fuckers all game long and make them earn those first 5 yards of freedom. And if that's not the direction they go, they got to put Tyreek in motion to get off of these jams. So I think it's going to be tough for Miami to get things going. Obviously, with Spags, the number of looks you can give to it confuses things pre-snap. And who's going to block Chris Jones at the end of the day? Who's going to block Chris Jones? That's my big question.
Dan?
This is a very difficult game because I got like two conflicting things going against each other. One is the Dolphins' candy-ass uniforms going to the cold. It just doesn't work. It's just a fact. Doesn't work. Tua has not performed well in his cold weather games. I think he's 0-3. He did have that one nice game where they lost by 3 to Buffalo last year. Remember the snowball game where they were throwing snowballs at him. So I'm very nervous about this Dolphins team, especially with their defensive injuries. So we know Jalen Phillips, we know Bradley Chubb. Andrew Van Ginkel gets hurt. I think Melvin Ingram is now going to be like
He's dinged.
forced
He's also
to do-
35.
Yeah, right. He's going to be forced to be like the guy.
Bruce Irving.
Yeah, right. They're bringing all these guys. The one problem that the Chiefs have had in the back half of the year is their offensive line has not been good. I think they get a little reprieve here, but I keep going back to the simple fact, like the Chiefs' offense, they have been broken all year.
Yeah.
Like, don't fall into the trap of they're gonna snap their finger and everything will be fine. Even in that game against the Dolphins when they played overseas, Rashee Rice got shut down, Travis Kelce got shut down. They're like, hey, beat us with these other guys. You can't do it. I think I'm going to take the Dolphins plus 4.5.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm
I
worried
don't.
about their running game
I
against
don't-
the Chiefs' defense.
What?
I'm worried about the
Yeah,
Dolphins,
the Dolphins
running
running
for
game.
5 to 8 yards
Right.
a pop against the Chiefs' defense.
Gun to my head, obviously, I take the Chiefs to win this game, but 4.5, I just don't know if the Chiefs can, like, blow anyone out. They just don't have that ability to blow teams
Butker's
out.
going to get
I
5
didn't
field
need that
goals.
I know.
I thought we were all going to be aligned. I'm with the Chiefs. I think I wanted the Dolphins to
I'm
win.
on the
Like
Chiefs.
I wanted Miami. I love Coach McDaniel. I wanted the Dolphins to make noise in the playoffs, but I think like with their injuries and it mattered. You couldn't win the division at home in warmer weather. You're not going to go in and all of a sudden, like the Kansas City Chiefs, like, yeah, they've had an up and down year, but they're vets in the playoffs. They know how to win. And yeah, I know
doing the flip
I know
switch.
they've been up and down, and I'm not saying that they're going to be some playoff team, but I think in this situation where they're injured, like Miami needs to be in a rhythm offensively. They're kind of built like a track runner. If anything's off,
Some
they're
teams
not
can only
performing
play on
like they
green
want.
grass, Will. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
That January when that grass gets
Yes.
brown, people start looking around and they say, we're not supposed to be out here.
Right.
The Chiefs are like, yes, the grass is brown.
And the thing is, Miami couldn't win on the green grass last week. And so I think for all of that, I do not see how Miami pulls it off. I really don't.
All
Do
right,
you like the Dolphins?
this is what it's coming down to. Everything that I've looked at in this game points to take the Chiefs because the Dolphins are so injured, and even that
no
game
edge
against the
rush.
Bills, where you're
this
like,
isn't the regular season. This isn't like a regular
I know. This is what
season
I'm saying.
spot.
I'm making points for you. Like even the game against the Bills in Week 18, you watch that game and you're like, oh, the Bills only scored 21 points and they got a punt return touchdown. No. The Bills moved the ball up and down the field. They had two red zone turnovers.
Goal line.
A 40, another turnover on the 40. They got stopped on the 1 to end halftime. Like, the Bills play that game 100 times the way they played it. They score like 35, 40. Like, they were moving the ball. Josh Allen had like 400 plus yards of offense. So everything says take the Chiefs. I just keep going back to, like, the Chiefs are not a team built to blow teams out right now. And they're going to try to win this game ugly because I think that that's the only chance the Chiefs have to go back to the Super Bowl. They can't be like, hey, we're going to flip a switch. No, they got to be like, here's what we are. We got to win these games with field goals. We got to win these games by methodically moving the ball. We got to win these games by playing good defense. Yeah, I hate my pick.
You need to capitalize on the 1 or 2 opportunities that Vic Fangio, because Vic Fangio knows we don't have elite edge rushers, and we can't get Patrick off the spot with a vanilla 4-man rush. So what are we going to have to do? We're going to have to generate this thing with external pressures or internal cross dogs. That's going to open up some part of the field for Patrick. And if there is a guy in the league who can see it and make the throw, it's Patrick. We got to see the guys make the catch.
I hate my pick.
I honestly, I think that you'd be overly aggressive trying to have some more creativity inside a blitz package because teams that have success against the Chiefs or that can, if they don't have a pass rush, is having 8 guys in coverage at times, like eliminating Travis Kelce.
Making
all you gotta
Patrick
do.
sit
Don't
back
rush
there like
past
this.
don't rush beyond the quarterback.
Yeah, no, that's the Dolphins' plan. The Dolphins' plan is to run the ball, and obviously you're going to get your big shots, but you got to essentially say, look, we have so many injuries on defense. If the Chiefs are going to score a touchdown, they better do it in 12 plays. Yeah. Like we got to make them work for everything because those receivers will drop a ball. You know that Patrick Mahomes feels that pressure of his receiver core not being good, so he might take a risk. That's the game plan for the Dolphins. I hate my pick.
Yeah, it's like you can't. Chiefs win on first down, and to your point earlier, Kyle, about the long arm corners and everybody else, like they play an aggressive style, press man, and again, like Miami's a rhythm offense. If you got Chris Jones coming up the middle, like it's going to get 2 off the spot. They got press man going on. The quick throws aren't going to work as easily.
It's all timing related.
Yeah, like they might get. There could be a gash in the run game, right? But in that -9-degree weather, like all you got to do is win on first down, and then you put Miami in a spot to where they don't want to be in.
And Kyle, we've talked about how much this weather is going to impact this game. And we know obviously weather is going to impact any game, but the fact that Miami has lost 10 straight games when the temp is below just 40 degrees, and we're talking about negative degrees.
I remember in 2014, we had Monday Night Football. We hosted the Dallas Cowboys. It was an 8:50.
Josh McCown.
It must have been 10 degrees below
Dude,
zero.
Josh McCown was incredible in that game. What did he throw?
It was like 350.
Yeah, he was insane.
But Romo and the boys came up, and they did not want to get off the bus. And like I'm telling you, it's real.
Josh McCown was awesome.
When you're in the
I'm gonna look
warm-ups
up that game.
and you're beating heads with your teammate, and you're like, let's fucking go. And you see the guys over there, and they're like layered up, hands in their belly, like, let's just go out and give it to them.
Miami's the type of team you see that has heaters on the sidelines when it is like 40 degrees. You're talking
And they
about.
try to burn us out of the stadium when we go down there. They put everybody in the fucking sun. So it's like, come on in, come on in.
Like what you're seeing all the fans in Kansas City like prepare for, like they're preparing for this, and
Yes.
they're used to cold weather. So
Yes.
we can only
It was
see.
Dick Day too. What I need to go. I need to shout out Josh McCown because he was so good that day.
Alshon Jeffrey, electric. that
Kyle,
day.
look for, and you know how this is too. It's not like this isn't a Pittsburgh Steelers reference because they actually were about that life. But look for a couple Miami players to be wearing nothing before the game to try and talk about intimidation, and then they'll get
Some
hit.
barefoot guys.
Yeah, then they'll get hit in the mouth.
Josh
Johnny out
McCown.
with pneumonia.
Josh McCown was 27 for 36, 348, 4 touchdowns passing, 1 touchdown running, 5 touchdowns.
Sounds
Josh
like
McCown.
good protection, bro.
That was when that
You big dog.
that started a lot of calls into sports radio being like McCown's the guy, McCown's the guy.
He had great
McCown was
protection.
coaching high school football. He left to come. Yeah.
Josh McCown, great dude.
Before we get to Sunday's games, we have to give a quick shout out to Body Armor. I don't know if Jerry can actually pour Body Armor with his sling on, but we love Body Armor. It is the official water of Barstool Sports.
Comeback player of the year, Jerry.
I mean, Jerry, yeah, he's the water boy. He's
No,
in
he's
a
not
sling.
coming back.
Ed Block.
He's not coming back.
No,
He's done.
He stinks.
I mean,
He's quitting. He's a quitter.
but he had like one of the biggest streams of all time at Barstool
He's
Sports.
trying to quit Jerry After Dark.
No, you're not. You're not trying to quit, are you? Okay.
You
Again,
release a notes app. The minute you release a notes app, you
Oh, he released a notes
Screenshot
app?
notes app?
called the chat toxic. Live Jerry.
I did see there was a moment where I chimed in on the Jerry After Dark, and it was literally all Jerry Smollett or whatever. What he was talking about.
That's funny.
And he got tight.
but they,
Call him all kind of stuff on there.
That's fucked up.
they
I agree
were?
with you on
I
that.
You
didn't-
got doxxed.
how did they find it?
Yeah. And I get it. It's like you're embracing the chat, but now they're power.
They're being
drunk.
nasty. They're being nasty.
Don't be nasty.
Yeah, we got some mods coming in.
Yeah.
Love
oh,
it.
that's
Yeah.
good. Yeah, they were firing at all cylinders during the hole-in-one stream, but that was going well for Jerry. I guess
Yes.
if it goes poorly for Jerry, the stream.
Yeah, and it's like in taking strokes at golf. It's like,
Yeah.
Sound like a
This is
front
gonna be
runner,
hard as
Jerry.
Yeah. Let's talk about the first game on Sunday, which is a very important game to Jerry. As soon as he's done handing out the water, we'll talk about that. The Steelers and the Bills. Dan, the Steelers right now +10. So 16, we talk about weather, 16 degrees, snow showers. Obviously, both of these teams, though, very used to playing in this cold weather, so not as important. However, a big spread for the playoffs. Where are
Yes.
you leaning?
Okay. The Bills are very good. I have them 35-1 in the Super Bowl. I'm rooting for the Bills. This game feels like a weird Tomlin Steelers game that they just stick around.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it does.
it doesn't.
All right, so you guys disagree with me, but
The smile on your face, Kyle. Is
So here's the
I
path.
laughed at Vrabel last week, though.
Here's the path. The Steelers will be able to run the football, I believe. So
Agree.
limit possessions, run the football. Don't make Mason Rudolph do too much, especially in bad weather. The Bills also, like as good as they are, when they're double-digit favorites, I think they've lost 7 straight against the spread as double-digit favorites. Not outright, but obviously against the spread. They just kind of fuck around. Like there will be a fuck around factor where the Bills, I don't feel
we should be winning by 21.
I don't feel confident in it because I think the Bills are significantly better than the Steelers. But there's just something about these Steelers where it's like we're gonna look up and it's like, hey, how is this a 3-point game in the second half? How is this a 7-point game? And 10 points, a lot of points in the playoffs, especially with a total at like 36.5, and you get 10 points. I'm taking the Steelers.
Kyle, you disagree?
Pittsburgh's got to be so perfect on first and second down defensively against the Bills. The Bills are like number 1 in the league on third down, and you take T.J. Watt out of this equation, and then I throw all the stats for the Pittsburgh defense out, and I say, well, that's not who they are because T.J. Watt is who they are, and he's going to be in sweatpants and not compression shorts on Sunday. So this matchup comes down to just who's got the alpha, and it's Josh Allen in this game.
I love Josh Allen.
Gabe Davis, health, I'm not really
Up in
sure
the air.
there, but it's Dalton Kincaid is going to be, again, I mean, he's going to get to 1,000 yards here if he balls out in these playoffs. He'll get to 1,000 yards as a rookie, which is great. But yeah, it's first and second down. Can the defense for Pittsburgh show up against Buffalo? Because I think James Cook's going to get the ball too.
That's the part that makes me nervous. The Bills last year, they got embarrassed by the Bengals in the playoffs in similar conditions. And what you've seen from the Bills this year is they can run the ball now. Like they do have the ability to be a power running team. Josh Allen under center, especially since the OC changed. So that does make me nervous. It feels like they're built a little bit better for this type of game.
Yeah, and I think they're pissed off too. Like they understand what the mission is. They didn't care at all about you saw Josh Allen at the end of the game last week. They didn't care about the hats. They didn't care about the tees. They flew in Miami, looted their house without even talking about the division title. And when you got the Steelers coming in, and I think if anything, it's like a tip of the cap to the Steelers for when the expectation, the pressure, and they were just, they kind of limped into this thing, but at the very end of the year when they needed it most and you're going through quarterback turnover and everything else, and they're finding a way to get it done, I think it's more of like, hey, we made it to the playoffs versus the Bills. Not only do they have the running game and everything else, and they're going to be in Buffalo, but they have the mentality to go with it because you know it, man. Like they've came close too many times, and this year they've been doubted more than ever, and they've came back strong.
These are facts.
They're pissed off and ready to go. So
Will's preaching.
Damn it.
You hate this one too?
I hate this one. I don't know why.
You picked the Steelers.
I know. I don't know why I like the Steelers. I think it's just
But you're taking
spot,
because of
it's a spot.
the spread. Like you're not.
Tomlin, dude.
I'm switching.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jerry.
Look at Jerry.
You're gonna lose.
Okay, I'm switching.
I
don't.
feel strong
way
about
too
the
many
plus
points.
10.
The more I,
It's a lot of points.
Steelers have the best
Double-digit
running game
spread.
in football.
the more I think
They
about it.
literally have the best
Drop the
running game.
stat. Drop the Najee stat.
Okay, last 3 years, who's had more rushing yards?
Last 3 years?
Najee Harris or Christian McCaffrey?
Najee Harris.
Najee Harris.
Yeah, he's a beast.
Because Derrick Henry's gotten
missed the
hurt.
whole year. Yeah, he missed the whole.
Yeah, I was gonna say Derrick Henry
Let's
got hurt
go.
too.
Let's ask him about that one.
No, it's just I really think not even being a homer. I just think
caught more
the Steelers, they're a bend don't break type of defense. I think they run the ball excellent. Mason Rudolph has been really good. 18 of 20 last game in those type of conditions.
It's not Huntley. It's not Geno Smith.
And
It's not Jake Brown.
And it's also
is
here's
the
what
alpha dog.
Here's what makes
Minka
me nervous
Fitzpatrick
about
coming back.
Here's what makes me nervous about this Steelers offense in this game. If it is very windy, which the weather says it is, which obviously we're taping it on Thursday, the Steelers offense is not like they're not a dink and dunk, get the ball over the middle of the field slants. They're going boundary throws, back shoulder throws. Those are tough in wind.
Yeah.
Those are very, very tough. The precision you need for those throws in the windy conditions, it's a completely different ball game. So yeah. All right, I'm with you guys. Bills.
Really quick. So you did talk about the wind, and Josh Allen, I don't think is affected by the wind. When I was with Patrick in Kansas City, I remember it was my first weather game that I was on the sideline for before the game, and I was like, so are we going to tailor our passing game a little bit? And I'm not going to name the coach, but he looked at me like this, and he goes, that guy throws it right through the wind.
Yeah, right.
So, like, Josh Allen, I see an opportunity for him to go Gabe Davis downtown Julie Brown.
Yeah,
If he's in the roster.
Yeah.
Jerry, I know that we're talking about the point spread being, I mean, obviously at 10, that's double
Yeah.
digits in the playoffs is odd, but how confident are you that they win this
This is a lot different than like Steelers teams in the past getting into the playoffs. They have depth at the TJ Watt position. They've never had depth there. The Steelers are 1-10 without Watt, but this is the year where they actually have some depth at that position. Nick Herbig is a big one. I think he's going to have a big game. Every game he's been in this year, he's had an impact play, whether it's a strip sack or another random sack, the turnover, a fumble recovery. He's good. He's good. I think this is going to be a really, I would say this is like a 4-point game.
Do you think the Steelers can win?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Steelers can Minka's back. Gabe Davis might not play. That's a big loss for Josh Allen. Joey Porter has the least amount of completions given up in the NFL. Minimum 50 targets.
Is that true?
That's a fact. He's a shutdown cornerback. There's no way that is very true.
He said it.
Yeah, what about Patrick Surtain?
My stat is 100% true.
Okay.
I still don't think.
Minimum 50 targets. He has the least amount of completions.
I just love the
given up this
conviction.
year.
No, I know, and he's done this throughout the season where he says a stat, you're like, he says it with such conviction that I don't think anybody can say that it's wrong.
It's a
The
real stat.
only one we had to call
Sauce
him
Gardner's
is
number
one he rattled
4.
like 4
Surtain,
categories.
I think,
They
is
were number
3.
1 in.
No.
Dan's looking it up right now, but
Yeah.
I believe you because
minimum 50 attempts, Dan. I'm not going to say he's going to lock
He
down
can
Stephon
cover as
Diggs.
well as he wants. If they don't tackle at the linebacker position, if they don't redirect at the corner position
Yeah,
when
I
Josh
mean-
Allen takes off, it's going to be a long day.
Yeah.
for the Steelers.
I mean, I could.
Because without TJ driving Josh insane back there,
Yeah.
it's Josh's time. It's Josh's world
Yeah.
we're living in.
And I love your shout out to the backup to TJ Watt, but we're talking about
Nate Herbig's a great player.
TJ Watt.
Badger.
I mean, you lose that any.
Yeah, no,
How many
listen-
games
I
has
like him
TJ?
anymore.
Not. It's a team
Badger.
game, but how many times has he just completely changed?
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, of
thank God
course.
he's on the squad.
Of course, yeah. I
And
mean,
I can't find this. Jerry does a good job of doing stats.
Like, it's hard to just
They're
Google
hard
right
to-
on the-
They're hard to find.
I don't know if somebody.
it's okay.
We've got Ryan back there. Maybe Ryan can look it up to help his
Come
boy
on,
out.
Ryan.
Okay. we'll keep
Okay.
moving.
Oh, Sauce.
he's number 4.
25 is Sauce Gardner. Well, he's played all year then, yeah.
24.
maybe
They don't
just- maybe
throw
he
it.
just had-
That's the
yeah,
other
yeah,
thing.
He's saying 50
This is a
Okay.
tricky stat too
Okay.
because the best guys they don't throw to.
There were the
Once he
caveats.
said
So
Sauce
you
Gardner.
say, once you say
Caveats.
50 attempts.
50.
Like I would imagine Sauce Gardner probably hasn't had 50 balls thrown his
And
way.
because teams are running the ball against the Jets because really they're not that good against the
Yeah, right.
And the other team's winning. So,
So
they're
Jerry's stat is probably correct with that caveat that it's a certain
There's
amount
a
of
lot
targets.
of-
Yeah.
Correct.
Still doesn't mean it's a wrong stat though.
Yeah.
Let's go to the Packers and the Cowboys. Will, I will start with you. The Cowboys minus 7.5. I know we felt bad for our guy Dan last week because it was his Super Bowl. I know, but it's okay. We're moving on. Looking forward. How do you feel about the Packers in the playoffs?
You know, I'm emotionally riding with the Packers. LaFleur, Bisaccia, Joe B, KO. I think we're like if you look at Detroit had success, running the ball, keeping it close at Dallas. Like I know Dallas is a completely different animal at home, but the way the Packers have been playing the back half of the year, you look at Jordan Love. He's like 13 touchdowns and 1 interception since the beginning of December.
Yeah.
You look at the creativity in the run game with Aaron Jones and what LaFleur can do on getting him to the edge, some misdirection and everything else, similar to what the Cowboys do at times with all the rocket motioning. But give me the Packers, 7.5 points. I feel like it's a lot. I'm gonna go Packers.
Yeah.
And also Cowboys first round of the playoffs. Like I know they're a different
Dak-
team at home. I know they are a different team at home.
Dak is 1-5 against the spread in the playoffs.
What's
in
the
his
spread?
career. 7.5.
7.5, man.
The
Packers.
The Packers defense is bad and scary because you could like look at it and be like, oh, they kind of got better towards the end of the year. Well, they played Justin Fields and Luke Getsy just got fired. They played Jaron Hall when Kevin O'Connell started them. Before that, Bryce what's his name? Bryce Young and Tommy DeVito carved them up.
You're not wrong.
So that makes me nervous because Dak is obviously going to get his. I just think, and I don't want anyone to hold this against me. Do not clip this. Do not put this out. Jordan Love is really fucking good.
Oh.
He's really fucking good. He's been playing out of his mind good. I think the Cowboys defense is kind of a classic Cowboys defense where their cornerbacks are a little bit feast and famine. They're trying to jump routes.
Yes.
They can also get burned. I think Stephon Gilmore got hurt as well. I think the Packers will stay inside this number. And the big point, Mike McCarthy's a fat, dumb idiot. He will give you something. He will make a mistake.
Yeah.
What if he smashes watermelons, though?
I don't know. I don't know if and Jerry Jones even had a comment where he was like, we'll see how the playoffs go round by round. He had to come and walk back that comment, but that can't feel good.
We'll see how the playoffs go
round by round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you think too, if Packers are going to cover inside 7.5 and it's a close game like that, then you almost you might go money line.
Kyle,
Just
how
because
you
they
feeling?
blow it when it becomes a situational football.
How am I feeling? Awful that I'm about to say the things that I'm going to say.
Okay.
And it kind of mirrors what Big Cat's talking about. It's been obvious to me since week 1 that Jordan Love is the answer for Green Bay at quarterback. And they have the best quarterback in the division right now. And I hate to see that. I hate to talk about this. But I think that for the first time with the Packers and the Cowboys, we get the 2 outright touchdown passing leaders in the league in the wild card round. So Jordan Love 32, Dak Prescott 36. So these guys, if you want fireworks, watch this game.
I love the over in this game.
It's going to be
I love the over.
awesome. But here's the stat. Here's the stat, okay? Time to throw Green Bay, 2.9 average seconds. Time to pressure Dallas, 2.3. But the X factor with that stat is that Jordan Love is really good at throwing off his back foot, fading away from pressure. So that stat tells me Dallas is going to get home with half a second to spare. But with the things I've seen Jordan Love do with the down-the-field football throws, I just can't write him off. I'm going to go with Green Bay to cover this spread.
And I think you can run on Dallas, too. So and Aaron Jones is healthy. I think you'll see a lot of that.
I mean, you look at where they got wiped by Buffalo. It's like they just lined up, put them in the backfield, and run right at
Ran it
them.
down their throat. When the Lions started clicking in that second half on that Saturday night game, they were just running and playing man football.
And don't forget, we wrote this Dallas team off 3 times
Yeah.
throughout the course of the season. When Trent Williams threw Van Der Esch into the other guy
Yep.
and broke his head, and then it was, you remember?
Yeah.
It's not funny.
He's got to retire.
It's not funny. I have a medal in my neck too, bro. But
By the way, we have
I
a
wrote these guys off.
we have an update on Jerry's stat. It is correct. It was posted by Steelers Depot. So Joey Porter has given up 24 catches, minimum 50 targets. Sauce Gardner 29, Jalen Johnson 25, Ronald Darby 25. Joey Porter played like 250 snaps less than those 3 guys, so that might matter.
Yeah,
He didn't start.
But
for most of the season.
to also
locked
Jerry's
down
point,
DeAndre Hopkins,
he is a good
locked down-
player.
He's a very good player.
Very good player.
But I don't think that stat says he's the best.
He's had
love Steelers
He's had better numbers this year than Sauce Gardner, Defensive Player of the Year last year.
Okay.
That sounds.
Completion
I
percentage.
see. Now we gotta look stuff up.
Yeah, now you just,
No, you don't have to look it up.
Say it, Jerry.
I'm just being
how
honest.
many picks? did
Dude, I'm going to give you something here, and you can take this to the bank. Stephon Diggs will have less
Which I'm taking
Have
it to
less.
the bank.
than 50 yards passing yards. Less than 50.
Passing yards?
Completion, whatever. Receiving yards.
receiving yards.
It's been a long week.
Less than 50.
It's been a long year for
Take it to the bank.
It's January the 11th, and it's been a long year for Jerry.
Yes.
It's been a very, very long year. By the way, Kyle, just me and you, when you told me that stat, like you thought it would raise flags to them, it didn't even register to them.
That was like the most like anti.
No, Dan even goes, ooh.
Yeah.
Kyle told me that was a
Like, I
Delaney
got
Walker
Delaney
stat.
Oh, yeah. The
But I
Delaney
made it
Walker
into a me
stats.
convo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Delaney stats are.
They did not even register.
This
That's
team's
what you were
4
trying
and
to
4
do.
on the road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
In 1982, these two teams played. Packers covered the 7.5.
He thought you guys would notice that was a Delaney Walker stat and didn't even write it out.
Which
So
one?
I was say it again because I was
Yeah.
I was fact checking Jerry. That's my fault.
Okay.
Delaney makes me laugh so hard.
Yeah, he's so good. What was his stat?
Say
What
your
was his
stat again.
He was like, on the road, this team is 4 and 4.
Yeah.
So
Take that wherever you want.
That's it.
No, but the stat that you just gave wasn't even close to anything like that.
Yeah, it was time to pressure for Dallas.
That was a good stat.
2.3.
That was a good
Time to
stat.
throw for Green Bay. 2.9.
That was a good stat.
Yeah.
And then you even talk about the player itself. He's great at throwing off his back foot.
Yeah, when he said he had a Delaney
He
stat,
throws
I
off
thought it
no
was
feet.
obvious.
Yeah.
Jordan Love. He jumps
Really good. It pisses me off.
Let's move to the Sunday night game. It is the game of the week presented by the Chevy Silverado because we have a Lucas Edits presented by Jersey Jerry. It is the Rams and the Lions. The Lions -3.
I've been waiting for this all morning.
All right, welcome back. Pro Football Show Game of the Week. Wild card, super wild card edition. Los Angeles Rams at the Detroit Lions. My prediction, a lot of points in this one. 28-24, I'm going to go with the Detroit Lions. Stafford back to throw. Also a revenge game. He gets sacked. Also a revenge game here. Both quarterbacks were on opposite teams. This should be a doozy. Field goal is good. Rams go up 3-0. 3-0. But hold on. Jared Goff, here he is. The comeback kid. Drops back to pass. The shark wheel route. Shark wheel. David Montgomery, touchdown. 7-3 Lions
Shark
lead.
wheel.
We're heading to the second quarter now. No, this is the fourth quarter now. A lot of ball that got played that we didn't see. Touchdown, Detroit Lions. I'll tell you what, the Rams just didn't show up. It's that simple. Rams just didn't show up. Another touchdown for Montgomery. This is a blowout. It was never close. McVay fumbles. 21-3. Lions go on to win the game. Shame on McVay. I mean, shame on McVay. Shame on the coaching staff. Shame on Matt Stafford. Jared Goff wins in the end.
Kyle, your thoughts?
That was wild. I mean, they had a fumble.
Love it.
They all
Fumbled
struggled.
the bag.
I still thought Lucas was a kid. Like
I mean, he is a kid.
But you thought he was like an actual
Like if
kid.
there was a small child said he was mad and filmed. Good game.
How are you feeling about Lucas right now?
I like Luke. Lucas is a good kid.
Okay,
As
I
long
never.
as he stays away from the bottle.
He fingered a drink.
Yeah, he
Fingered multiple drinks.
What was up with that?
He says it's called tapping in. That's what the
Yeah.
kids do nowadays.
Yeah. Guys
Everyone
been,
fingers
guys
their
been drunk
drinks?
all
Yeah, they put their
2024.
finger like, oh, I'm tapping in. Whatever. I don't know.
I sent a picture of me doing it. I was going to send it to you guys, but I was like, it just looks weird.
Yeah.
My fingers are way bigger.
Yeah,
Everyone who's doing dry January, Lucas is making up for it.
exactly.
He's like, I got your back.
Yeah.
And he's fingering drinks. It's very weird. Okay, Dan,
Yes.
this game, outside
Yes.
of the Lucas edits,
Yes.
Lions favored by 3. How are you feeling?
So, obviously, the big story that everyone's talking about is Stafford's return to Detroit. I actually think that it's way more Jared Goff revenge game. This Rams team, Sean McVay, they did not want Jared Goff. They went to a Super Bowl and they're like, we have a better option. We're going to go get it. The Rams have been very good this year. There's some things that scare me about the Rams. They have the worst special teams, which will show up in the playoffs. They are really, really bad special teams. I'm talking punt return, kick return. They've gone through a bunch of field goal kickers. That type of stuff shows up in January when you least expect it. It's like, damn, that was a problem all year. I also think the Rams, if you look at who they've beaten, they've done a really good job of beating up on the Seahawks and the Cardinals type teams. I think they're 1-6 against teams that are going to the playoffs. So, and that one was the Browns. I think it was Joe Flacco's first start. And I think what's going to happen in this game, the Lions are going to run the ball. The Rams go a stack box at one of the lowest rates in the NFL. I think they're going to say, hey, go ahead and try to run it. And I think that's what Dan Campbell's going to do. He's going to run it down their throat over and over. And here's a sneaky one. The Lions' run defense is actually number 1 in the league. You wouldn't expect that. So, and Sean McVay needs to kind of run the ball to set up the pass, everything that's going. He's not going to just not want to run the ball. I think the Lions are going to win. I think they're going to cover the 3. I like the line.
The cool thing about McVay setting up the pass with the run is that they're in 11 personnel a lot. And, Will, you can answer this. 11 personnel, we can do a lot on offense. That's one running back, one tight end, the rest are receivers. So that's why we see the offense look the same, but they run different things in Los Angeles. I think it's like 95% 11 personnel, which gives Sean McVay a lot of options on offense.
And you got like Higbee. When you have a receiving threat at tight
Yeah.
end.
Quick.
Yeah.
But you've seen the Rams, the progress they've made this season coincides with Kyron Williams being one of the best backs in the league.
Yeah.
Like, they want to run the ball. I know that everyone talks about Stafford, Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua. Like, McVay wants to run the ball.
Who's going to block Aaron Donald? Who's going to block Dallas?
Well-
Who's going to block Kobe Turner?
I'll tell you, the Lions' offensive line is one of the best in the league.
I'll tell you what, without Sam Laporta,
Yep, that hurts
we don't
a
have
lot.
the answer to that question yet.
That hurts a lot.
But without Sam Laporta, I think Jared Goff is a little less comfortable back there.
Okay.
Because we had Sam on our pod earlier this season. He just talked about being the guy that makes Jared feel comfortable.
Yeah.
And I want to be that guy in this offense, and that's what he's been, and then some. So without Sam Laporta, I really worry about this Jared Goff-led offense, and I trust Matt Stafford in this spot. I trust Sean McVay in this spot. They've won big games together on the road, at home. I got the Rams.
Will?
I don't know. I really don't. I like.
But
both
you ain't blocking
I
Aaron
like
Donald.
both of
Let
them.
me throw out one last thing. This crowd is going to be electric.
Yeah.
This is the first playoff game in Detroit since 1991. Like, if you want to talk about home field advantage, I think Detroit will have a home field advantage, significant home field advantage on Sunday night. Like, this is going to be a very, very loud crowd.
And just that extra juice because Stafford will be there.
Right. And the Goff revenge. It's more Goff revenge than Stafford revenge. Stafford left on good terms. Goff
No,
did not.
I agree. I agree with you. I think everybody's going to talk about all those storylines, but you just know Jared's at home. Like he's like, God, I gotta like,
Prove him wrong.
yeah.
Without
I don't know. Jared, who do you like?
I like Detroit big. I do.
Let's go Detroit.
Detroit.
I truly am like rooting for both of these teams.
Yeah. Well,
Like,
that makes you a pussy.
I know. Well, I don't really have a true dog in the fight. You know what I
Right.
mean? I just meant like if they're both going to the playoffs, like I wish they were playing different teams so I could root for both
Got
of
it.
them.
That's fair. That's fair.
Just because I think either one who comes out, like I'm going. There's like a story and a reason to be
yeah.
excited.
No, yeah.
So
yeah.
you think the Lions stop the run and they run and they force Rams to be one-dimensional?
Yeah.
And it's ball game.
I don't know if it's ball. It's going to be a tough game.
Yeah.
I don't think the Lions are going to kill them. I just think the Lions have more paths to victory than the Rams, and I think the Rams, as good as this season has been for them, it was supposed to be a rebuild. McVay
Right.
putting them together, like it's been incredible. I think if you look at it, the Rams, it's not like they've been. I think the game against the Ravens is what kind of gets people confused. Like they went toe to toe with the Ravens
In the rain,
but again,
on the road.
how did that game end?
Special teams.
Special teams. I think that's the key here. Special teams will matter, and special teams, you'll see something happen to the Rams where it's like the hidden points pop up, and you're like, fuck. It's not just offense, defense.
Kyle, as somebody who has, I mean, you and Will both, like playing in the NFL, we talk about home field advantage as fans and as the media, and in college, I think it does matter a lot more. But like Dan just said, this is a different type of home field advantage.
Right.
These fans are insane. They love Dan Campbell. How much does that really matter when you're playing on
It
the
matters for a home player, but even if I'm on the road and I'm thinking about it, we went and opened up Levi's Stadium. Remember that?
Yep.
Levi's Stadium. the
Yep.
first game?
Yep.
All we were
Brandon
thinking-
Marshall, 3
All we were
touchdowns.
thinking about was let's just fuck up their party.
Yeah.
Or when Brett Favre was getting inducted into the Ring of Honor.
Thanksgiving night.
Now the Ring of Dishonor.
That was the last time the Bears beat the Packers.
We beat them. And it was like, let's fuck up their celebration. We're not going to the Super Bowl. Let's just fuck their deal up. And you know what? I think that this is an opportunity for the Rams, for McVay, for Stafford, who knows better than anybody how hard they've worked to get where they are as fans, to be like, let's really test their crazy here.
Yeah.
Okay? Let's beat them at home.
I'm going Lions.
Okay.
Okay.
I think you.
Lions.
Let's go.
Gosh.
There's hard games, as I'm saying. The
tough
playoffs
game,
are
tough
hard.
game, tough game,
Playoffs
tough
are
game.
hard.
The more you try to say it with conviction, the less you
Yeah,
have.
the playoffs
I got
are
the
hard.
Lions
He
back.
like
Playoffs are
slammed
hard.
his hands down. He was like,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, playoffs are hard.
All right, let's round this out with the Monday night game, the Eagles and the Bucks. Kyle, I will start with you. The Eagles -3. It's been a strange year for them, obviously losing last week the way they did. The Bucks, Baker Mayfield, how are you feeling about this one?
I mean, how healthy are the Eagles?
Yeah.
Is really what it comes down to. Last week, I saw Jalen Hurts like this on the sideline with a finger that looked like mine, which ain't good. I ain't playing quarterback anytime soon. And, you got A.J. Brown dinged up, Devontae Smith dinged up. That's your offense right there. So what are the answers going to be on offense when the Bucs start going blitz happy on Jalen Hurts, who's struggled all year against seeing extra men in the box. It's going to be really interesting. The health is, to me, the big question. And then, look, it's kind of been Baker Mayfield's year all year. I'm excited for him to have an opportunity after being sold down the river a couple times to go make some hay here in the playoffs. It'll be fun to watch. I am picking the Bucs at home against the Eagles. I just don't trust the Eagles right now. I think that the wheels fell off that bus a long time ago.
Baker was limping a little bit last week.
Well, he had his
got some
ribs.
injuries.
Yeah.
We're all banged up right now.
true.
You know, but I think Baker is a tough SOB. So that's why I'm in on Baker.
Yeah.
Dan, what do you think about the picture of Baker with the Zins in his pocket?
I loved it. Loved it.
Are you able
This
to
guy's guy?
able to talk us into the Eagles?
I don't know if I can.
Okay.
All right, so here's where this game. The Eagles have been bad, and it's going back to my theory of like, don't expect the team to just flip the switch. Trust what you've seen. The line makes no sense to me. That's the only reason I like the Eagles. But I'm taking the Eagles.
It should be Eagles. It should be Eagles -5.
No, it should be a pick 'em.
I don't think so.
Yeah, the Eagles stink.
They got all these defensive rookies of the year, and
They're
stink. They have Jason Kelsey.
They're bad.
AJ Brown.
But I think the Bucks are bad too. I
Lane
don't
Johnson.
think the Bucks are good. They beat up bad NFC South teams.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah. Eagles.
Eagles. I don't feel good.
Bucks almost got beat
I
by
don't
the
either.
Panthers. Remember that one about 3 weeks ago? There was like a shootout. I could see the Eagles, but trust me, I just don't think they're healthy enough in Philly. And I don't think they believe it. But the only thing that would make it happen is Dom is back.
Dom is back.
Dom is back. And
God, how do
also,
we forget that?
Dom is back.
If there's some
feel
doubt,
better now.
if there's some doubt in that building, you know Jason Kelsey's going to stand up and deliver one hell of a speech.
Yeah, Lane Johnson was not happy with me. I put the Eagles in my super ass category on power rankings, and he just replied on Twitter, "Dang, bro." And then I texted him. I was like, "Use that as motivation." He said, "This isn't Lane's number anymore."
Yikes.
That's a big man that's mad at me. I'm not happy about that. So I'm taking the Eagles. Lane, this is a message for you.
Hey, Lane.
Let's go.
Hey, Lane, I got the Bucks. Shoot those fucking cannons off.
But they're not super ass if they win, so you'll take
No,
them out of
they're
the category,
right. They can prove me wrong.
You guys got
Yes.
that Super Bowl ring, so it's cool.
I also don't want Stephen Shea to be happy.
That's a big one.
That's a big part of
An
the
emotional
handicap
part.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I want Max to win a game to be happy, and then the Niners to smush them. That's what I'm rooting for.
When the Bears are just not in the playoffs, it's just like you're just rooting for your friends, either happiness or sadness.
I just want tragedy for them, maybe prolonged tragedy for Max, where it's like build him back up,
Greek
then
tragedy
then we'll
style.
fuck him up. Yeah.
Make
And
it
I want
good and then
I want
kill
Shea to be sad right away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with that.
Jerry, how do you feel about this game?
I like the Eagles.
Okay.
I think they'll play a good game. I think the Bucks they're not good. They're really not good. I don't know. I feel like Eagles might find something, but I think they'll get bounced next week.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, Philly ran it all over them last time they played.
Yeah.
Right? So
Yeah. Yeah, you can do that.
you're going to have to do that if
You're
you don't
gonna
have
have to do
Devontae, AJ, and Jalen's finger on
Yeah.
his throwing hand.
Yeah.
So, Kyle, I think, is this the last show of the year with us?
Yes.
Last show.
So thank you so much for having us. How did
absolutely.
you like hanging with the boys?
I love hanging out with the folks here at Barstool. It's a lot of fun, and appreciative to have the opportunity and fuck with Jerry every couple weeks. It's a lot of fun. So
Yeah.
thank you guys.
Great guest.
Yeah,
Great
great
guess.
You're
Yeah.
a stud,
guess.
bro.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're not allowed to say that.
We're not?
I got an email about it.
Stud?
Stud?
Yeah.
Why?
Why?
I don't know, I'm not here to explain that.
Okay, yeah.
I'm just saying we can't.
Don't say stud.
Like as far as like the new woke dictionary?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't
It's
know
like
that
a
was a
stud
thing.
would like a stud
They're
is
like,
Like
you
a
have
stud
a
horse?
FedEx in your locker.
stud horse technically
horse.
probably not consent when studding with
So
other horses.
when you got the letter, basically like, hey, if you're on the show, you came back. Oh, Christian McCaffrey was a stud.
Stud.
Yeah,
and
no,
they're like, whoa.
Because they're talking about the horse.
Yeah, horse
That's
fucking.
That's crazy.
horse fucking.
It is horse fucking, right?
Non-consensual horse fucking.
Who will think about the horse?
That's how
when you
Chris
say
is doing it
stud?
at the Green Light podcast.
No, he's talking about CBS. Yeah.
They can't say stud, and Dan's like, I don't know, horse fucking. Okay, anything else?
No.
No,
No.
we're gonna end on
End on that.
that. End
Yes.
on that note. Okay, we'll be back next week for the next round of playoffs.